Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to AlqTech Night, a special event where we come together as a developer, student, and tech lovers to learn, connect, and inspire. My name is Khalsa Saeed, and I will be the moderator for tonight's sessions. And I'm really excited to have you all with us tonight. Let's go through the agenda. We will start with tech talk on how AI is transforming the way we build software, and a hand-on workshop related to GitHub for real-world projects. And finally is the panel discussion, which is about the future of tech and AI in Oman. We are kicking things off with a powerful talk on artificial intelligence. But first, let's do some icebreaker activities. Please, guys, drop one emoji that shows how you feel right now, and one emoji for your favorite tech tool, language, anything. Okay, nice, guys. Your emoji is matching the vibe of the tonight sessions. Okay, then. I'm honored to introduce our guest speaker, Prof. Dr. Hassan Ali Khattak, Senior Lecturer in Western Sydney University and respected researcher in AI, smart cities, and cloud computing. Get ready, guys, to explore how AI tools are reshaping the way we write code, learn technologies, and build the future of development. Welcome, Prof. Hassan. The floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Hello. Hi.
I hope I'm visible and audible.
Yes.
Okay, so I have, most of you, or probably all of you, are from Oman. So I have tried to make this turban. I'm not like an expert. I did it just once, and this is my second time. So I hope it's good, right? So this is just to show my love for Oman. I've spent something around like 11 months there, and it was one of, you can say, one of the best time I have spent there. And I met very incredible people, many good students, Khalsa one of them, and many more good humans. So it was a very good, good part of my life, I would say. So let me share my screen, and then I will start to discuss what we are going to have a discussion about today. So, okay, so let's start today's lecture. Today's talk. I mean, this will be a little introduction that how things have evolved. First, I will introduce myself, then I will explain a little about how softwares are really developed. So what was the traditional way, and then how we move towards the, you can say, proliferation of AI. How, I mean, AI was included in our, you can say, development processes. So first of all, let me introduce myself. So I'm Dr. Hassan Ali Khattak. Like Khalsa introduced, I'm currently working with Western Sydney University in Sydney. Before that, I was associate professor at Sohar University. I spent my 1 year there, and I've been working in the domain of you can say teaching and doing software development for something around 15 years. I have my PhD in Internet of Things, computer sciences, and this is something which interests me a lot, the software development and everything related to, you can say, the World Wide Web. So mobile applications, websites, and everything around it. This is a little detail about me. So for the moment, I'm working with Western Sydney University. I did my PhD in Italy in 2014. I mean, my focus is mainly using AI, the notion of smart cities and cloud computing in order to create useful applications which solve the problems which are surrounding us. So the problems can be related to healthcare, the problems can be related to agriculture, the problems can be related to many other domains. So this is something which interests me a lot, and I always try to learn new things. So I consider myself a like you can say a very curious student. So whenever I see something, I try to learn about it. Uh, today, today we are going to discuss that how the software development process has evolved and how we feel that it has changed, for example, for the people who are developing software. So I have a quick question. So I have something around, I mean, if I'm not wrong, so something around 27 people here. So this is a quick QR code. So if you can, like, meanwhile, while attending, just go to this website and there is a small question. Just I want you guys to answer it. I've given a similar talk in another place, and we had something like this, you can say, answers. So the question is very simple. Have you ever used GitHub Copilot? This is one of the softwares we are going to discuss. Then we have ChatGPT, which is very famous. You can use it for many things. And then there are other tools as well, or you can say something like Stack Overflow. They have AI-based features which help you to like give a problem, and then it can be solved using different, you can say, code snippets or redirections. So something around like 300 students had given me this, like you can say, data based upon which I have like this analysis that around 80% of the students have started to use GitHub Copilot. So if you guys like start working on it, like just scan it and quickly answer the question. So like I would like to like quickly show this is the results which I got. So if you see again the participants who are in this meeting now, so it is again something around 80% again. So this is something which is very common and we already know about it. So this is very interesting. I mean, the data is almost true for you guys as well. So let's like start our talk. So whenever you have any questions, any suggestion, anything, do ask. We are going to have an interactive session. Our main idea is to learn, discuss. Maybe I get to know or get to learn something from this talk as well. Okay, so feel free. You can just like raise your hand and we can discuss in that direction as well. So before starting, I will give you a glimpse that how softwares were mainly developed for something around 70 years. Because the introduction of AI or generative AI is something around last 4 to 5 years. So like ChatGPT and other tools, Copilot, they have evolved and they have come to our, you can say, our workflow in something like 4 years, not very far away. So before that, the traditional software development was very tedious. It was most of the time manual. There were some things which were, you can say, automated, but most of the time it was based upon the human input. So it was taking a lot of time in planning, a lot of time in coding, a lot of time in testing, a lot of time in doing other things as well. And to be honest, planning and coding and testing are not the difficult part. The most difficult part is the debugging and deployment, because we are humans. We create code which has mistakes. The mistakes go on to you can say deployment, and in deployment, when in the real world, when the users are using the software, they may feel or may experience some problems. So because we were heavily relying on human creativity. So sometimes people try to use logic, or sometimes everyone has different problem solving like techniques. Like for example, if I am going to give you guys a problem to solve, there are like 28 or 30 people who are online now. So 30 people will have almost different, unique ways to handle the software. handle the problem. The good thing about this is that this is something which like God has or nature has created in us. We are creative. We are like creating good, you can say, solutions or innovative solutions. But the bad thing is that sometimes we try to find shortcuts or try to find ways in which we want to omit hard work or remove hard work. So in the result, we might get low quality code. So this is a very big problem. So in order to solve this, there was a notion that why not automate things? Why not like make the repetitive tasks to be standardized and they can be done by the machines? Like for example, consider the process of deployment. It is a very standard process. There should be some security checks, there should be some policies, some of the files should be in read only, some files should be read and write, and so on, right? So we can make many of the things into, you can say, automatic processes. Also, sometimes when you are writing code, so there is a pattern that, or whenever you are doing something, so there is a pattern which exists. So for example, if I'm going to write a HTML form, which takes username and password, so it means that I will need a button for submit and reset as well. So this is very normal. Like any form in the world, when you see, they have two buttons. So when I write a form, automatically it should predict that I will be needing these two buttons. So this is called prediction. Also, sometimes if I'm writing a software, the code is like, you can say, repeated again and again. So based upon the previous patterns, design patterns, we can say that, okay, whenever there is a username and password field, there should be a check that the number of characters which are entered in the, let's say, password field, they should be 8 characters. So these kind of things can be automated as well. So this is what we call suggestion. So automatically it suggests that, okay, the password should be 8 characters long. And then we move towards generation. So sometimes we want code to be generated automatically. Like for example, if I want to create a login page, so I also need a sign up page. Similarly, I need a recover password page as well, or reset password page as well. So these things can be automatically generated as well. So if I create a login page, sign up and let's say reset password can be generated automatically. So this is something which gave the, you can say, scientists that if in the traditional software, there are many things which can be, you can say, automated, why not do these things? These are like 4 possible ways in which software can be change. So this was, you can say, the notion or the intention behind it. Now, moving forward, this started a new era. Something like 4 years ago or 5 years ago, this started a new era. First, we started with small things like code completion, giving suggestions, and so on. But slowly, it evolved into revolutionized, you can say, software development. Today, if you see ChatGPT or Copilot or GitHub Copilot or Microsoft Copilot, and there are many more as well. Like there is some specialized software for designing web pages. There are some specially designed, you can say, generative AI systems for Python code and many more. So this was a new era. So this is what we call the dawn of new era. So software development, which was a very complex human endeavor, it was transformed into, you can say, a more, you can say, effective and more appealing domain. So today you can just go to ChatGPT and ask it that I want a website to be created, and it can give you a few lines of code, and you will be having a running website in a few minutes. So this is very powerful, which we see. So let's break down that how AI has impacted the whole process in every step. So it is like something we have to see the whole, you can say, spectrum of software development lifecycle. There are like 5 steps. So we need to like discuss them, that at each step, how different tools are helping us. So this is, you can say, this discussion is not going to be very technical, but it will give you an idea that how every step can be revolutionized. Like most of you will be students or interested in software development. So can you pick a, you can say, slice of software development and take different kind of tools to help you? So let's discuss them. Remember that when people were doing mathematics and calculator was invented, so it did not replace mathematicians, rather it gave them more power to do more calculations. Similarly, when someone was making, let's say, chairs and they created hammer, so hammer did not replace the carpenter, rather it gave him more power to create more chairs and time. So in the same scenario, we will say that AI will not replace anyone. It will rather empower us. Like it will give you or many more people power to be creative, create new kind of softwares, create new kind of good tools, and so like different kind of things. So let's discuss these steps one by one. So there are like 5 steps in software development. I will like cut them into, you can say, these 5 slices. Okay. So the first one is requirement engineering. So just a quick question: how many of you have studied software engineering, or you know the different 5 steps? So, when we develop software, we like break the software development life cycle SDLC into 5 steps. The first is to understand the requirements. This is called the requirement engineering. So the main challenge before AI was that normally it was ambiguous. Like if I'm a baker, I want a software, so I will talk to a software engineer and I will try to show him something. I will tell him a story that this is my problem, these are my requirements. So he has never been into baking business. He will not understand what I want to create, why ingredients are important, why milligrams are important, why grams are important, why heat is important, and so on, right? So in order to understand my software, he has to think like me. Similarly, next day, maybe he will be creating a software for, let's say, a butcher, or let's say a restaurant, or let's say a car sales showroom. So the problem is that the requirements are normally ambiguous. And because I'm a baker, I don't know about software, so the requirement may be also incomplete as well. So the problem happens that whenever I'm discussing something with a software engineer, I'm not able to tell them the whole story. So these modern tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, and many more, they can ask me questions. They can be trained to ask me questions. So there is no ambiguity. There is no problems. What will happen? We will reduce ambiguity. We will have a lot of, like you can say, content which is pinpointed at what needs to be created. So it will be very clear. So you can like train ChatGPT that, okay, become a software engineer and ask me questions. Imagine that I'm a, let's say, baker. So it will ask me questions one by one and so on. So this is something which can be done very easily. So at this step, like the tedious task of asking requirements can be automated easily. So this is one of the places where AI helps us a lot. And one of the ideal tools for this is ChatGPT or Gemini or these kind of LLM tools. Then the next step normally comes that when you understand a software, you need to design the solution. So by designing, we mean that what kind of database we are using. So this is the last layer if you see in the software. Then what kind of technologies we are using to connect these databases. So these are called enabling technologies. What kind of interfaces we are going to create. So whether it will be a Android application, whether it will be a mobile application for Android or iOS or mobile or iPad or what kind of software, right? So one of the biggest challenges at this stage, the next stage, the second stage is that how we can design a software which is secure, which completes the requirements of the client, which we got from step number 1, and it is secure in such a way that data is protected. So there are many tools which help us. Like I have used this smart draw. Mainly when we teach software engineering, we teach UML to students. So probably if some of you are students from software engineering or IT domain, so you will know UML diagrams, use case, class diagram, then sequence diagram, and many more. So what these diagrams do, they give us a notion that how the software is going to work in a certain environment, right? So this is the second step, and there are many tools, but some of them are written here. So I have used Smart Draw, and this is very good. So it asks you questions, then it draws a shape for you, it draws the connections for you, it creates ER diagrams, the tables and everything. The next and most interesting part is the software coding. So most of the you can say students like you guys, so you will be working or you will be interested in this domain because this is the most, you can say, rewarding. You can code and you can see the output in real time. Okay. So this is something which you do. So you go to a ChatGPT like software or Copilot or any other tab 9 and you write that, okay, I want a website which has 2 buttons and so on, right? So you will be able to create it. So this is very, you can say, very fruitful activity. However, the good thing is that normally when you are doing this kind of programming, this is called pair programming. So you have a pair with who is working with you. It is like your friend who is helping you to do coding. So you can use these tools in order to improve your coding skills. So you can ask them questions that, okay, if I want to create a HTML page with reset button, what kind of code I need? So it will give you an answer. Similarly, you can ask that if I need let's say, a website with black background, what kind of code I need? So it will give you an answer and you can use the code. There are many tools. The most famous ones are basically Amazon Code Whisperer. However, GitHub Copilot is very famous. I will like quickly give you an idea, like a quick tutorial to use it. And I think there is a workshop after this as well. So maybe they will be also doing this like activity related to how to generate code. So this is the third step now. Okay. So first was requirement. Second was mainly the design. Third was the coding part. Now let's go towards the testing and quality assurance. So the main idea, once a software is developed, but it is not launched yet. Like, for example, you have created a software for Android or iOS, but you have not put it in the Play Store or Apple Store. So the first thing you want to do is that you want to test this software so it is secure, it is scalable, it does not have any issues in calculation and so on. But this is a very tricky part because in the world there are many different kind of devices. Like if you see Android phones, so there are many phones from Samsung, many phones from Oppo, many phones from Huawei, many phones from other companies. Even if you consider Apple ecosystem, so in Apple they are releasing phones every year. Every year there are like 3 sizes: iPhone this, iPhone that, iPhone XL, iPhone Pro, and so on. Similarly, there is iPad, there is many more. So you need to test your software on all kind of applications. Let's say you created a game. What happens? You want to test the game to be looking beautiful on a phone, a small phone, let's say iPhone 16e, and also you want to look, I mean, have the similar game which is looking good on iPhone, let's say 16 Pro. But similar game you want that, I mean, the iPad to represent the game as well. So testing is a very time-consuming process because in the world there are like thousands and thousands of devices. So you need to test them on every device, and this is a very difficult task. So one of the, you can say, good things is that there are tools which help us to do different kind of automations, and the same code can be tested simultaneously on different screens, and it can show you that what kind of issues are there. So one of the tools which I like for preparing the presentation today, I was like testing it. So it was basically Apply tool. So Apply tool, what it does is that it creates different UIs of different sizes for a smartwatch, for a phone, for a tablet, for a laptop, for a projector. So it creates different UIs, user interfaces, and gives you that all kind of devices can be tested. So you understand that, okay, how my app or game will look on a small screen, how will it look on an iPad, how will it look, let's say, on a bigger screen. So it creates like an opportunity for you to like make this time consuming and very like tedious or difficult task to be very easy. So with single line of code, you can test on 2000 devices at the same time. It can tell you, okay, on this it is looking bad or it is looking good and so on. There are many more tools. I just tested one of them, but you are like most welcome to test others as well. It gives you a chance to be very thorough in testing. It gives you an opportunity to release your software as soon as possible. And also it gives you that what kind of problems there might be when you are, let's say, doing quality assurance testing before releasing the software. So this is step number 4 now. Now the next step is basically the deployment and operations, which is called DevOps. So Dev and Ops is deployment and operations. So when we are talking about different kind of softwares, even if you consider this small software, let's say Talabat. I mean, it was a application which we used to use for like ordering food in Oman or any other country. So if you see, it is like an application which gives you different kind of restaurants, food restaurants, and then you see menus. In menus, you see, let's say, prices, and you can select the item, its price is given, and you order, give your address, and the item comes to you. But the problem is that this is not a very simple application. Simultaneously, thousands of people are using it. Like, let's say, from Salala until Sohar. So there are like thousands and thousands of people who are using a software. So simultaneously, they are sending a lot of requests. So it is a very complex system. Like someone is ordering from a restaurant, other is ordering from KFC, others are ordering from, let's say, Kuku Burger, and so on. So there are many requests going on. So it is like crazy operation. Every restaurants need to have a copy. Every driver who has to deliver the product, they need to have these tools. So we need to understand that how this complex IT infrastructure will work, because the restaurant is also sending requests, the people are also sending requests, the drivers who are picking the orders and delivering, they are also sending requests, and so on. So this is very overwhelming. Like thousands of requests per second are happening. So we need tools which can do these kind of things. So I have used the SP Link, Spool Link, you can say, or so this is an AI-based tool which uses different kind of machine learning data from previous, you can say, running, and gives you that what kind of operational bottlenecks are there. So by bottleneck, we mean that how much orders will make the system choke. It will make the system slow, or it will crash the system. So this is very, very good tool. There are many more tools as well. There is Postman, there is many more as well. So what happens once you use these tools, the benefit is that you will have reliable releases. You will understand this. Okay, if my system is, let's say, used by 100,000 customers in Oman, it will not crash because your tool has tested it. Similarly, if suddenly 5,000 people more are added into the system, my system will not crash because I have backup plans. There are like nodes which are available. Suddenly they will go up and they will give me reduced downtime. And in case there is, like, let's say, any flood, God forbid, there is a flood and a data center is not working, what will happen? A new data center can be quickly enabled, and it can provide the, let's say, you can say, recovery. There are many like other things as well. So this is called like proactive incident response. So DevOps is where mainly machine learning on the previous data is used in order to give you future-proof software architectures. So these were the 5 steps. The next task is mainly about the maintenance and evolution. By maintenance and evolution, we mean that sometimes, like, let's say, imagine that I have a iPhone 13. So when I'm using the software of Talabat and it was working fine, suddenly I buy a, let's say, new phone. Suddenly everyone is buying new phones, iPhone 16 or so on. So suddenly the old system is replaced. The system previously was working on the iPhone 13, let's say, iPhone 13 and 14 and so on. But suddenly new operating system came, let's say iOS 26, and a new phone came, iPhone 16. So with new system, will it work or no? So this is a very challenging task. So I have to do all the 5 steps again, and I have to evolve my software in order to like give me a new notion. So we need like softwares or tools which can help us. So there are many like tools. One of the tools which I know is basically it is called GitHub Actions. So it is very powerful. So it understands that, okay, new code has evolved, new operating system is there, new kind of device is there, new resolution is there, new screen size is there. So it automatically changes the code and generates a new output. So when you explore GitHub, you will see the like this notion or this like option. It is called GitHub Actions. It is very beautiful, very powerful tool. Do like explore it. And if you like ever have any questions, I will be very happy to help you guys with that as well. So this is like a quick summary of what we discussed. We will be like moving towards the summarization part. So mainly what we discussed that there are like 4 or 5, you can say, pillars on which we need help from software tools. So some of the popular tools are like listed there. You can like take a screenshot of this, and this is like a summary. So when you are doing anything related to these, like let's say activities, if you're doing coding, so there are coding assistants. If you are doing quality assurance, some people are not good at code or they don't like code, so they can be like software testing people or quality assurance people, so they can use these tools, Apply tools, Test Sim, and then DiffBlue, and so on. Then we have different kind of tools for DevOps. We have different kind of tools for requirement engineering, like ChatGPT, and so on. And there are many other as well. For example, there are tools which understand the language or the spoken words and convert it into text. So one of the famous one is Hugging Faces. So there are many tools which are available to help us. Now, like, let's quickly summarize. So we are part of, let's say, we are witness to the revolution. So we are not going to say that, okay, the future is going to come. No, the future is already here. So artificial intelligence is not a futuristic thing, rather it is available. You can just go to chatgpt.com or gemini.com and you will be able to like use these tools. These are the tools which are actively reshaping how things are working. There are many companies who have stopped hiring people because they think that AI can code for them. So this is like an innovation which is happening. So many companies have reported that they have seen tremendous, you can say, benefits in using AI, like AI. So for example, for planning and requirement, they have seen 30% increase. Similarly, for design and requirement, they've seen 50% of more like errors are removed and they are able to do like good coding. Then there are like for code generation, like almost like 45% of new code can be generated without even writing anything. Just give it a prompt and it can create a code for you. For quality assurance, sometimes we humans are very slow or we get tired, but machines are not tired. So they can do different kind of quality assurance test cases and different kind of coverage testing, and they can automate it very easily. And they can do for thousands of devices simultaneously. And the most critical part is deployment and DevOps. So, I mean, studies say that there is 60% increase in detecting different kind of problems, and it reduces almost like the downtime by half. So these are very, like you can say, promising numbers. However, this story is not as easy as it looks. Like it is very, it seems very charming and very promising, but there are many hurdles which we have to see before we fully adopt the AI for like software development. So these are like some of the tools, some of the, you can say, hurdles which I have when I was asked to prepare this presentation. So I went to the different studies and different news articles from IBM, from GitHub, and many more, Azure. So these are like 5, 6, you can say, critical things which need to be improved in order to fully adopt AI for any organization. So one of the first one is that yes, ChatGPT is very powerful, but the problem is that you have to ask it properly. You need to give it a good prompt. That's why there is a whole domain which is called prompt engineering. So the first and the most remarkable hurdle is basically developer skill. So how do you ask ChatGPT that where do you need help, right? Then most of the systems which are already developed, like the systems, imagine this one, Meet, Google Meet. So they are called legacy systems. So how the new softwares or modern softwares can be integrated with this? So this is a challenge, because this code needs to be uploaded or given to this new AI-based systems, and we can have a tight integration. Another thing which we are facing, and it is going to increase, I feel for the moment it is on the third priority, but it may increase, is the data quality and availability. The problem is that in next 5 years, then most of the code will be generated by AI. And currently, if I'm giving it low quality code, so it will generate low quality code. So after sometimes, most of the code will be low quality. So this is a very dangerous problem. Like if you see news on Twitter or other platforms, so you see fake news, right? But the fake news is powering or fueling more fake news. So this is a very, you can say, recursive problem. Based upon this, many people will start losing trust on AI, and they will say, no, we don't trust AI because the data which is given to AI to generate data, it is fake or incorrect. So based upon the incorrect data, AI is giving me more incorrect data. So they will start to lose trust. And one of the most important things, I mean, for some companies it is cheaper, but for many people it is very expensive, because doing AI related work, it needs compute power, which is very expensive. Like if you consider the, excuse me, so modern tools like ChatGPT, or you can say Gemini, when they train these softwares, so they need expensive GPUs, which are very expensive, and also they need a lot of electricity, and they are generating heat as well. So there are many problems related to that as well. So infrastructure and tools are very important in this domain as well. One of the important things which I did not mention here, but I created a separate slide for it. It is called the ethical issues. So when ChatGPT or these tools are generating code or text, basically they are using code of someone else. And this is a very big problem because it is without their permission. So imagine that the people whose code is being used, they have put a lot of effort. They've worked hard and created beautiful softwares. So if you go to GitHub, and you will see many good softwares like Firefox, Linux, and many more open source softwares are on GitHub. So the problem is that when we are using ChatGPT or these Copilot and these tools, they are using the code of other people without permissions. So this is a very big problem. I mean, this is an ethical problem. It does not create any issue, but it is an ethical issue. Like you create something with a lot of effort, and someone uses it without permission. So this is a very big problem. So I mean, it comes under the intellectual property or copyright. However, there are many other problems as well. Like for example, in the training data sets, there is bias as well. So like for example, if someone in Gulf or someone in Africa wants to create a software for them, they don't have any like code or explanations or documentation available in Arabic or let's say African languages, because everything is in English. So it is very difficult for them because it is biased. It is only in one language or so on. So this is a big issue as well. Another thing is that once these AI-based tools are more and more into mainstream, we will be having a lot of like loss of job as well. So many people who are currently working hard, they will be replaced with AI tools. Like AI is very efficient, so it can replace like 10 or 15 developers in one, let's say a team, or let's say a big project. So this is also a big issue we need to like consider. So how, I mean, being a student and being a learner, what I want to share with you is the road ahead. What is the road ahead? So one thing which we are going through is the hyper automation. Currently, let's say we are in 2025, so 24, 25, and 26. These 3 years will be hyper, you can say, automation related. Many tasks will be automated. Many like people will be freed from complex and creative work because AI will take place for them. But the problem is that after 2026, we will suddenly realize that we need humans in the loop. We cannot like take human out of it, because when the AI is creating code and it is again using the same code to create more code. So slowly the quality of the code will degrade. So we need someone to check, to have a check on it and to improve. And this will be mainly for having critical analysis, critical validation, because this will be a very important thing. So I personally feel in 26 and 27, people will be more inclined toward reintroducing humans in the loop. And the next will be basically based upon the like hyper automation and humans in the loop. We will have systems which will ask us questions, humans, that I'm suggesting this. What do you think about it? So applications will be autonomous, but it will ask questions from us, humans, that I did this. What does your creativity think? Or what does your notion think? So this is something which I feel will be very prominent in 2028 or something around. So at this time, the cycle will complete and we will have a good infrastructure ahead. So being people in the software domain, when you are like trying to move towards this, so I will encourage you to work on these processes. This will help you to be very relevant and very, you can say, knowledgeable in the domain. So first, try to understand that what is transparency and what is explainability. Why we need to have tools which are explaining decisions. Like for example, if AI is suggesting me something, so I should be able to know why it is suggesting. Like when you go to a doctor and they give you a medicine, let's say Brufen or let's say Panadol, so you ask them why you gave me Panadol, why not something else. This should be very important. So this is step number one. Second, humans should be in the loop. Yes, small or meaningless tasks should be given to AI, but for suggestions, for important discussions, important decisions, there should be human in the loop. So AI should be a co-pilot, not the main driver. Then fairness and bias should be more and more involved. This can only be done if more and more people are involved in like generating code. So if you guys are creating good code, so you will be contributing. If people from Africa, Asia, China, UAE, Oman, Kazakhstan, and these people are more and more involved. So it will be like balancing the whole, you can say, data which is available for AI. Next, mainly we need to understand that security is very important, security of the code and also security in the software which is developed by this code. So this is very important because we don't understand what kind of backdoors AI may create. So ChatGPT or Copilot is owned by a company and they can like put secret, you can say hidden messages, which will help other, like let's say hackers or someone to gain access of any code. So this is very important to understand this because more and more software is developed using AI, but we need to see that can we trust this system or no? And last and the most important one is that whenever we are using someone else's code, we need to understand the intellectual property and we need to acknowledge it. So for example, if my AI system is giving me something, I need to understand that where it is taking the source from, where it is copying, where it is taking ideas, so I can acknowledge it. So it is very important and it is very, you can say, significant that we should be mindful and we should acknowledge the people who have really created good, beautiful code on the basis of which we are able to create our codes. So, like, before I close, so this is a very good quote I want to share. So, don't be scared. AI is very new and you can easily learn it. Uh, one more thing that once you learn coding and using AI, you will be more powerful. Like there is a quote which says that AI won't replace developers, but it will replace developers who use AI as compared to the people who are not using it. So, I mean, there will be a distinction. There will be developers, but the developers who don't use them, they will be diminished. So if you are more powerful, you use latest tools, you will be more relevant in the industry. So if you have any questions or anything, do like ask now or maybe later. I don't know how much time I have. Ms. Khalsa, can you like guide?
Yes, we can take 3 minutes for questions.
Yes, sure. So, I mean, anyone has any questions, queries?
You can open your mic and ask, or you can write it in the chat.
Yes. Yes, sure. Miss Khalsa, they are asking that would it be possible to share this presentation? So for me, there is no issue, and I hope like they can create a PDF and share it with you guys.
Yes, we will share it as a PDF later on in our social media. And
Yes.
thank you, Prof. Hassan. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. And
No, it's my pleasure.
Since there is no question, then guys, before we move to the next session, I will present my screen. So you can, give me a second. Let me view this. If you want a certificate for this session, for this talk, you should scan this QR code and fill it. We will get your feedback, and we will get your feedbacks, and you will get the e-certificate. Let me share with you the link if you cannot scan. Give me a second. I think it's time to move to the next session, or let me call it workshop. We have our workshop session now, led by true industry leader, Ms. Eariele Arango, founder and CEO of Ford. I will let her introduce herself and start the session. Ms. Eariele, the session is yours.
Hi everyone, good evening. I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you, Khalsa, for introducing me. And it's really nice to meet all of you here at AlqTech Night. Can you hear me?
Yes.
That's great. In that case, let me share my screen and let me know if it's visible for all of you. Okay. All good? All right. So once again, good evening, everyone. And thank you, Dr. Hassan, for your wonderful presentation. I thoroughly enjoyed all of the topics that you've discussed, and I'm looking forward to discussing more in our panel session later. But for now, we'll be discussing something related to GitHub, which is something that Dr. Hassan also mentioned earlier. So again, welcome everyone to AlqTech Night. I am Eariele Arango, founder and CEO of Trailblazer Business Innovations, also known as CodeBuddy. So tonight we're doing a deep dive into a topic that's shaping the way that modern developers work. And we're going to be unlocking GitHub's true potential for real-world projects. So this workshop, GitHub for Real World Projects, is designed to help you move beyond just pushing and pulling code. We'll explore how GitHub serves as a powerful platform for teamwork and basically develop smart practices in real-world scenarios. So before we get started, I just want to take a quick survey. If you're familiar with GitHub, can you just raise your hand in chat? Maybe comment hand like this. If you are not, you can comment X or no. I just want to see who else is familiar with GitHub. What are the different audiences that we have so that I can tailor it to what you guys know. Okay, so we have a mix of responses. Nasser, Mr. Khalid, Kian is not familiar. Dan is also not familiar. That's perfectly fine. So we have a mix in the audience tonight. So what I'll do is make it simpler for you guys to understand what GitHub is, what it does, and how you can use it as developers in your everyday lives, even if you're just students, if you're already in the professional space, and so on. So without further ado, let's get, okay. So a bit about me. So I'm passionate about empowering youth developers. I started there myself just a year and a half ago. So we created the startup through Code Buddy to make sure to educate the youth about tech and innovation, because as all of you may know, for those of you who are students, there's a real skill gap when it comes to what you're learning in university, what they're teaching you there, versus what's actually needed in the real world, what they're looking for in the industry. So we're mentoring dozens of young talents, and we're helping startups scale through open source collaboration. And I want to share with you how GitHub can be a part of that as a student or as a professional. So in this session, we'll explore how GitHub enhances version control, team collaboration, and project management. And we'll also look into some real-world stories and live demos so that you can understand and actually see with your own eyes how GitHub works. Okay, so let's start with version control. What is it? If you're a software developer, you already know that software development process from start to finish takes a lot of different versions of code. So there are certain times where you'll have the beta testing version, or the version where you literally just coded everything from scratch. Or there's versions from your teammates or your collaborators, whatever it is. Version control maintains stability throughout the entire development process. So it helps you keep track of the different versions that you have, the different changes that are made within those versions, and it'll also help you basically make it easier to contribute and collaborate with other people. So it's the foundation for high quality and scalable code. So when we talk about promoting collaboration and improvement, you can think of GitHub as sort of an environment where all of your developers, all of your teammates are in one space working together, sharing the code that you have and keeping each other updated on whatever changes that you've made. And this is especially important in today's landscape. So having a tool like GitHub will help you track your progress in your projects and get easier avenues for you to collaborate with your teams. Okay? So I said something earlier about collaborating with developers, but I want you to know that GitHub isn't just for developers. It's a full collaboration suite. So even designers, people who aren't necessarily within your team, you'll be able to make these three things with GitHub tools. Something called pull requests. So pull requests is where team members can propose changes and discuss them prior to merging. So what does that mean? If you have your original code, let's say, that you want to publish for your project, your teammates can review your code and make changes or propose changes before you actually have those changes reflected in your project. So it allows for safe code reviews and discussions, and at the same time you can track issues, whatever bugs that you have, whatever tasks and other feature requests that you're getting from your code. It all boils it down into one singular graph where you can see your teammates' suggestions, the different issues that you're facing there. And that'll help you assign tasks or just keep a log of the issues so that you can go back to it in case you encounter it again. Another thing that GitHub does is project boards. So you can organize tasks visually using boards like Jira, or Kanban methodologies. So Trello and Jira are very good examples of these project boards. All of these work together to make sure you have a streamlined development flow. So when you're using GitHub for your teams, you want to make sure that you're making consistent commit messages so that your teammates know what you're changing and what you're doing with the code. You want to enhance your branching strategies. This is very important, let's say, in a real-world project where there's already an app that's live for everyone to use, and there's an update that I want to make as a developer. So branching in GitHub will allow you to make changes with the existing code without having to upload it yet to live production, or as they call it. So it also promotes development culture and regular code reviews, as we've discussed. When you combine GitHub with your favorite tools, it allows you to manage your projects a lot easier. So when we mentioned earlier that GitHub isn't only for developers, it's also for the non-technical people within your team, like your project managers, your task leaders, or your team leaders. So it enhances the visibility and accountability through integration. So if you integrate your GitHub with project management tools, it gets you a clear overview of what are your ongoing tasks, what are the things that are assigned to specific people, and what are your project deliverables. So GitHub integrated with tools like Jira, Trello, Notion, which I'll show you guys later, and I'll share the links with you. This will help you be able to manage your project a lot more efficiently. By integrating these methodologies, you can leverage the features of GitHub while maintaining whatever workflow preferences you have already existing. So these tools you'll be using if you're a student, you'll be using it in your projects in uni, excuse me. And if you're already a professional, you'll be discussing those with your teammates who are already using certain tools like that. So GitHub becomes more than a repository or a storage for your code. It becomes your project's central nervous system in a way. Okay, so how do we enhance development efficiency with GitHub Actions? Like we discussed earlier, you can automate workflows directly. There's this feature in GitHub called GitHub Actions. It allows your teammates to basically automate the workflows directly from the repository of your teammate, and then improves the overall efficiency of your code. There's this thing called CI/CD pipeline, which I'm not going to delve into, but if you are interested, I would encourage you to look into it as a software developer or as a student in software development major. You can configure CI/CD pipelines to automate the testing and deployment process. So if you're interested in launching your applications for real-world users, this makes it easier for you to test it before you deploy it to the real world, whether it's a mobile application, whether it's a web application or a desktop application. So it helps you focus on coding and improve productivity as well. So using GitHub Actions makes it easier for you to automate, because like the main theme of today's event is how we can leverage the tools that we already have using AI or using different AI-assisted tools to make our lives easier when it comes to development. Like Dr. Hassan mentioned, which I will reiterate now, AI is not going to replace you as developers or as people in the tech space. AI is there to assist you as a tool to make all of the tedious tasks, all of the small tasks that you used to do, and help you focus on actually developing good code. So in that sense, let's delve into GitHub Copilot, which is your AI pair programmer. So GitHub Copilot is one of, I would say, one of the first AI-assisted tools which you can actually use while you're developing that helps you throughout the coding development process. It suggests code when you're typing, it chats with you in your IDE or your Visual Studio Code, wherever you're coding, and it helps you with command line tasks and even writes pull requests. It's very powerful in a way. It helps you accelerate your coding process. So think of it as your helpful sidekick, making everything faster and more efficient. So let's actually show you how GitHub Copilot works. So let me reshare my screen. Okay. So GitHub Copilot has many different ways for you to use it. You can get started for free directly from here, their landing page, which I can share with you in the chat right now so you can access it directly. Okay, so make one change, GitHub Copilot handles the rest. If you want to get started, you can go directly in this, or you can open it from your IDE, which is, right now I'm using Visual Studio Code. So let's do a live demo of how that works. Let me share my screen. Okay. Can everyone see this? Okay. So GitHub Copilot helps you make changes using your natural language, AI-suggested code completions, use natural language in your files, and look out for smart actions. So let's chat with Copilot. Let's say I want to, I'm a beginner developer. I know nothing yet about code. I only know about it theoretically. And I haven't done a project for myself yet. So I'll ask Copilot. Hi, Copilot. Can you help me make a simple landing page with a Bootstrap template. So if you guys have used ChatGPT, it's very, very similar to how this does it, but it's even more amazing in a way because it actually gives you all of the resources that you need. So here it is. Here's a proposed directory structure for a simple landing page app. And you can create the workspace directly from here. Let's select parent folder and create one. Let's say Copilot test. Okay. So it's creating the workspace. Let's get that open. So this is already our landing page. It already generated the HTML code for you, the JavaScript file, and the CSS, the basics of what you need. This is how powerful AI is right now. But as we've always kind of mentioned to our trainees, to our students, AI is there to help you. It's not there to do the work for you. So what I mean by that is don't only rely on your AI tools to do all of the work and just submit it, let's say, and launch it. Because if I launch this, let's run this and start. Let's see. That's it. This is our landing page. So if I deploy this as it is, it's a good landing page. Can you guys see this? It's a good landing page as a start, but it lacks a lot of the different elements that you usually see. It's very simple, and this is where you will come in as developers. This is where you'll come in as UI UX designers, as back-end developers, where you're going to make this landing page much more robust and more in line with what you want for your project. AI can help you get started. It can hold your hand when it comes to concepts that you're not familiar with, but you have to do the work with it to make sure that you're actually creating something that's worth seeing and that's worth deploying to the real world. Because if, let's say, as a student, you just create several AI-generated projects and you come to a company that hires software developers, that is not going to be a future where you're going to actually succeed in a sense. So use your tools wisely, but at the same time, make sure that you're still developing yourself, your skills, especially as a software developer. So let's go back to our presentation. I just wanted to show you briefly how GitHub Copilot works. And also just doing a time check, how much time do I have left? Just so I know. And
you can continue.
Okay. All right. So going back, let's go here and reshare my screen. Okay. So when we're exploring future trends, which what you guys are here for in the first place, where does GitHub fall when it comes to business development? Let's say for our company in CodeBuddy, where do we use it to make sure that our processes are much more efficient, much smoother in a way? So there are 6 different areas that GitHub contributes to. First is DevOps adoption. So as businesses embrace the DevOps culture, GitHub makes software development basically foster an integrated workflow within the teams. So DevOps was discussed earlier, and that's one of the main roles that you can get into as a software developer. So with GitHub in the real world right now, anywhere you go, it's being used by software developers to be able to streamline their coding process and be able to collaborate with their teams. Second and most recent and relevant is AI and machine learning. So like we just saw earlier with GitHub Copilot or GitHub Actions, AI and machine learning tools with GitHub is on the rise. Every day they're updating and improving GitHub Copilot and all of the different AI tools we can use with GitHub to get smarter coding suggestions. Make sure you're automating processes that are very, very long and tedious. Aside from that, as we mentioned, the collaboration features and how teams interact, share code and manage projects, and most importantly, the security protocols. So when it comes to businesses nowadays, whether you are traditional, your old style, or you're now getting into the modern ways of technology, security is such an important thing to have, because data is power in today's world, especially in today's tech landscape. Data is money. So security protocols is very, very essential, especially with a tool like GitHub, where you are uploading your entire source code, your entire database that will be able to be accessed by different people. So GitHub is becoming crucial to protect sensitive code and data from potential threats and vulnerabilities. So instead of just storing your code before in a single laptop or in a hard disk or an SSD, we have GitHub where you'll be able to protect your IP rights, protect your source code, whoever has access to it. That's something that you can control, and also your copyright as the author of the code itself. So that's one of the main reasons why GitHub became such a big thing in the open source community, because it's already establishing the different rules that yes, we can collaborate. Yes, we can be able to share our code with each other and learn from it. But it also protects you as the main developer, as the main source of that code. And then lastly, we have anticipating changes and the competitive landscape. In today's world in the tech industry, right now there's a lot of job insecurity, especially with the rise of AI. GitHub will not be able to replace whatever developers have created for years. An edge in software development, because if you resist the change that's happening, especially in such a fast-paced world in the tech industry today, that's going to leave you behind. So instead of resisting that change, embrace it in a sense where you can improve your skill as developers, improve your knowledge by sharing with other developers and learning from them as well. So the last demo that we're going to have today is just to show you how you can use GitHub itself as a repository, how you can create one, how you can share that with your teams, and so on. So let's go to GitHub. So the first thing you need to do is create your own GitHub account. Since I think you guys have this like GitHub Education. So GitHub Education allows you to basically leverage the pro tools that GitHub has as students using your .edu accounts as far as I know. But I will be sharing those links with you guys in a bit. So let's create a repository. Let's say you've already logged into your GitHub account. First thing you need to do is click on this green new button. So this will be initiating a repository. A repository will have all of your project files, including the revision history in your files. So think of it as, if you're familiar with it, Google Drive, a storage in a sense. So let's say AlqTech GitHub. Okay. So you can set your repository to be public or private. Public means anyone on the internet can see and access the repository, but you can still choose who can make changes in your repository. Private means it's only you or the select people that you want to see this repository with. So initialize a repository with a README file. You can add this one, but that's basically a gitignore template. You can explore that a bit later. This is one of the most important things that we were talking about earlier when it comes to IP and copyright. So you can select the license that applies to your project. If it's an open source and there's not specific ones, it's just your first time creating one, you can just click no or none. So this will set main as the default branch. Okay, so let's create our private repository. So this is already live for everyone. So this is how, I hope you guys are able to see this now. Okay, this is how your UI is going to look like when you're interacting with GitHub. From here, you'll be able to see the different files that you have within the repository. And you can see the different commits as well from your teammates. Now let's say I want to add my teammates to this repository so they can upload something. You can go to settings and collaborators. Now what GitHub does when you have teams, let's say, or workspaces, code spaces within a repository, you can actually subscribe to GitHub Pro. That'll allow you to manage the different accesses to the different files that you have within GitHub. So I just want to add people, let's say, okay. I'll just enter the username of whoever I want to add, and you can click on add. They should receive an email and inviting them to the repository itself. Okay, so from here, I think, where is this? You can create separate rule sets, create branches within your repository, and add branch rule sets as well, who can make changes, who can only view certain branches. And this is where GitHub actions are actually stored. So action permissions and so on. So that's just an overview of how GitHub works in general. You can connect this to a local folder within your device, within your workspace, laptop or PC. And this will work as a way for you to store and keep your code updated online without having to share it every time you make changes. So I'll show you how that works here. So let's initialize, if you're starting from scratch, that's how you create a repository. But let's say you already have an existing file in your laptop, in your device. Like the one we created earlier, you can either initialize a repository by going to your IDE. Right now I'm using Visual Studio Code. And go to the third icon. This is source control. So source control is where you'll be able to monitor your commits and where you'll be able to first initialize a repository in GitHub. So you can directly publish this to GitHub. And select all the files that you want to include in your repository. Click OK. And it basically does the work for you. There you go. So let's open that on GitHub. Here it is. So this is the landing page project that we created earlier with GitHub Copilot, now uploaded as a GitHub repository. So there are two different ways to initialize your GitHub repositories from the GitHub site itself or the IDE that you're using. Let's say I want to change something here just to show you how it is for the first commit. If I want to make changes here and save it, it'll show here what changes I made and which file I made changes to. So if I want everyone in my team, or I just want to update my GitHub repository, you can commit that change and update it in your repository using this. So when you're making commit messages, you want to make sure that you're describing what you changed and in which file, what it was for. So that allows you to actually remember later on when you go back to your history and allow your other teammates to know what changes you made in your repository. So let's say I change the header for the second paragraph to GitHub repository. So I'll commit that. So what this does is it creates a push towards your GitHub repository and then syncs it to your main branch in GitHub. So you'll be able to see that here directly in your graph, in your IDE, or you can also see that here in your main codes, what changes you made in the repository itself. So that's pretty much it. GitHub in and of itself is such a powerful tool for developers. It's really something that I think you guys, if you haven't started with yet, you need to get on as soon as possible because it's where the future is right now. So let's open the floor for some Q&A if we have some time. Also, maybe 2 or 3 minutes if anyone has questions.
Okay, we'll take 2 minutes for the question.
Will developers be judged by their GitHub activity? Tricky question, but the short answer is yes. This is actually how it goes when it comes to the real world industry. When you want to apply for internships, you want to apply for jobs. As a software developer, they're going to ask you, hey, can you share with me your GitHub profile? And that immediately tells them, okay, what are the projects you've worked on? What are the different tools that you've used? What are the different practices that you know? So it's basically your CV without having to create a CV as a developer. So thank you for that question. That's why it's important for you guys, regardless of how many projects you already have, to be able to show that and showcase that to the general public. Your GitHub activity is your portfolio as your developer. This is where you can say, I've worked on this projects. This is what I'm good at, without having to even talk as a developer when it comes to interviews and stuff. Any more questions from other people?
Yes.
Hope that answers your.
According to my research, there's something that GitHub offers, a student developer pack, and it gives us free access to premium tools and cloud platforms. Is that true?
Yes, actually. As students, you'll be able to, like I mentioned earlier, use GitHub Pro tools. So you can go directly into GitHub, GitHub for students, let's say. So here, they have a student application form where you'll be able to upload your credentials as students, and you'll be able to basically utilize the pro version of GitHub. So you can sign up for the student developer pack and make sure that you're using this to the maximum until you're a student, while you're a student. So I can share this link in the chat so you guys can have access to it. So what this does is basically whatever paid version that GitHub has with GitHub Pro, as a student, you'll be able to use that as well. So you can sign up directly from education.github.com/pack and just upload your credentials there. Start an application if you already have a GitHub account. So very much encourage you guys to use this if you're still students.
Thank you very much. This was a really useful workshop.
I'm really glad that's your feedback. I'm happy to share this with you guys. Anyone else has any questions or anything that you'd like to share before we end the session?
I have a question. So
Yep, go ahead.
I am a student at IT major, so having an account in GitHub, it's like a great startup for my journey.
Yes, actually.
So my projects and the help, I do it at GitHub, then you and all the mistakes and like this through all the years until I apply for a job or start my own business. This will be as a proof that I have good past through the coding and programming.
Yes, that's actually a really good way to show your the development of your skills from when you started and where you're at right now. So it shows them that you're willing to learn and actually grow as a developer. At the same time, if you're having your own startup or having your own company in the future, if you'd like, that's a way for you to keep track of all of the projects that you've done from the start to finish, and you'll be able to basically look back at your skills and also be able to share that with everyone as well. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, and those are very good points, especially students.
Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, the GitHub developer package for students also offers Canva Pro, as Suleiman mentioned, and Figma Education, other softwares. So I encourage all of you to explore it and get into it, basically. It's about time that our youth is also in track with what's in the modern world nowadays. So I think we can close it off there. If you guys have any more questions or you'd like to basically have a chat with me about this or anything when it comes to your professional development as students, whatever it is, you can follow me on LinkedIn or also our company page, Code Buddy Oman. and also our Instagram pages, my_code_buddy and dev_code_buddy. So thank you guys very much, and I look forward to seeing you all in the future, and I wish you all the best. Thank you, Khalsa and AlqTech, for inviting me for this session tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Eariele. Thank you so much for this helpful workshop. I hope everyone get inspired by it. And thanks again. And before we move to the panel discussion, I will share with you guys a QR code if you want to get a certificate for this session. You just should scan it, or give me a second. You can enter the link. I will send you guys the link in the chat. You can open the link and register there, or just scan the QR code in the screen. I think it's time to move to the next session, which is the panel discussion. And from here, I will give the hand to our moderator, Ms. Sarah Shaheen. Sarah, the floor is yours.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I'm thoroughly excited to welcome you all to this panel discussion on the future of technology and AI in Oman. My name is Sarah Shaheen, a robotics and AI engineer, and today I have the honor of moderating our final session. We are here to talk about something very important, which is the future of technology and AI in Oman. In this session, we will explore how AI is growing in Oman's IT sector, what challenges we face, and how we can use it to create new opportunities. I'm super excited to welcome our amazing speakers today. They are experts in IT, innovation, and AI, and I know they have so much valuable knowledge to share. Let's quickly introduce our speakers. Mr. Sulaiman al-Dar'i, software consultant and lead technical analyst at Infinity Thoughts Company, with more than 5 years of experience in tech consulting and education. We have here also Ms. Sajedeh Chaji, final year computer science student from Gulf College, and also academic achiever with a deep passion for AI research. Also, we have Ms. Khalsa Saeed. She's also a final year student with a web engineering major. She's the COO of AlqTech company, UI UX designer and community lead with a strong background in event management and student leadership. We are also joined by two amazing speakers who will share their ideas with us during the session. Ms. Eariele Arango, founder and CEO of Trailblazer Business Innovation, the mind behind CodeBuddy. And finally, Ms. Bayan Al-Jahwari, Sahar University graduated in English lecturer with conference experience and a passion for academic innovation. We really appreciate you being here and sharing your time and knowledge with us. So let's begin by hearing your thoughts on this. When you hear AI in Oman future, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? A word, a trend, a vision, anything? To start, let's set the stage by looking at where we are now. Mr. Sulaiman al-Dar'i, from your consulting work, where do you see that AI is not well known or used yet in IIT industries in Oman?
Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
All right. First of all, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a pleasure to be here. And just to answer the question straight away, if I had to talk about AI in Oman, I would say it's already here and it's a big opportunity. I mean, in my company, the companies that I work with, we deal with different softwares that go for different customers. Some of those customers are small customers like cake creations. Some of them are big customers like ministries or hospitals or universities. And all of these customers, for me, they're customers, but for you, they're big companies, they're industries. And the one thing they have in common is they're using softwares that are already using AI at the moment. For example, one of the softwares that I deal with is a restaurant software. You know, the one that the cashier pushes the buttons to take your order and everything. Or you go to a restaurant and you scan the QR code outside. What our software does is you scan the QR code, it takes you to a WhatsApp chat with an AI chatbot. You say, I want to sit at your table in this restaurant. And then the chatbot will send you a menu. You order the food in the menu. It will ask you, how long until you come to the restaurant? You say 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then the AI takes care of everything for you. The person in the restaurant, that cashier, is going to get the order directly. So AI already is here in Oman, and it's a big opportunity, and a lot of people are already moving into it. So that's my position on the whole idea.
Okay, thank you. To Bayan Al-Jahwari, as someone from a non-technical background, how do you see AI being introduced to students and the general public? Do you think it is easy for them to access and understand?
Assalamu alaikum everyone.
Alaikum salam.
As someone who's not in the technical field, I think that AI affects everyone, even if they're not in the technical field, like IT students. Normal people use AI every day, even if they don't mean to use it. Like he said, AI is everywhere, even in restaurants and in cars, even automatic driving. It uses AI. So yes, it affects everyone.
Thank you. Now that we understand the present, let's zoom into impact. How is AI actually changing things from startups and to workflows? How is AI showing up in real work and innovation? Mrs. Khasa Saeed and Eariele Arango, you both work closely with communities and startups. How do you see AI affecting innovation, product development, or even team workflows in Oman?
Eariele, you can start.
Oh, no, please, go ahead. I've been speaking for the past 40 minutes. I think the rest of the room can hear from you first.
Okay. In my opinion, AI is making things faster and smarter also. It help us at testing ideas quickly and even writing code faster. Also, AI tools help us to stay organized. Let me talk as a student. يعني. AI tools help us to stay organized, generate content, save time. This gives us more space to focus on things that needs creativity, solve problems, and these things.
Follow up for either or both. Are there specific sectors where AI has had a real impact or where you believe it's urgently needed?
So let me get into that question, because if that's all right with you, Khalsa.
No, answer the previous question, then you will continue.
Yeah, actually, that's a very important question, especially in today's landscape in Oman. Recently, I got to attend a, let's say, a networking event with all of the different industry professionals at Rihal. And a lot of different people from different walks of life came in to basically share their experiences and how data and AI is changing in the landscape of tech today. So right now, I think where AI is making a real change is being able to automate processes that are very dangerous to do in real life. Let's say there was this one application of AI in the industry, specifically in the construction industry, engineering and construction industry. They now use AI and drones to be able to check and detect different levels of severity when it comes to their projects. Let's say there's a fault in the system within one of the big machines that they have. It's there. That's very far off and a remote site, and it's also very dangerous to go there because you're interacting with big machineries that could explode any moment. So with the usage of AI tools, they were able to basically simulate the entire space of the plant, the industry plant, and they were able to detect where the faults are in the system so that they don't have to go there themselves and actually endanger themselves in a sense. So aside from that, AI is making a lot of advancement when it comes to medicine, how people are being treated, and how it accelerates the progress of research for diseases that it could not be cured or didn't have cure itself. So AI has a lot of different uses. It's not only there to do your emails for you or make sure that you have the perfect presentation or the perfect code. It's actually making real life changes in the world. And that's where I think we should put our focus on, instead of having AI do art or write our stories for us. So I hope that answers the question, Sarah.
It's exciting. But how do we make sure people are ready for this future? Let's talk about AI skills and education. What should students and young talents focus on to success with AI? Ms. Sajedeh, as an AI student and researcher, what challenges do you face when trying to apply what you learn in real-world settings?
Hi, good evening. First, can you hear me?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can.
So as an AI student, we are facing some of the challenges that I can keep some points, like lack of real-world data sets and access. The problem is that we often rely on international data sets that it's not always reflect to Oman context. So sometimes we need like from the Oman data set, but we don't have it that much. And we cannot like use the international data set always. So this is one of the challenges that we have, that is lack of real world data sets. And the second thing that I can say is like few applied industry academic bridge, that is still a big gap between the academic learning and also industry needs. And we learn concepts like deep learning, neural networks, or reinforcement learning, but few local companies offer internship opportunities that where we can like apply them in the real life projects. As well, we have the lack of mentorship or structured feedback. let's say in the colleges and universities. And I wish that there were like more AI professionals who guide the students through the hands-on projects. So if I want to close it, I can say that we are full of ideas and energy, but we need the structured programs, internships, and also competitions that can help the students, and also funded research spaces that it can help the students, and it can like take these challenges all.
Hi, Sarah, if I may, and Khalsa, just to kind of add to that, what Sajedeh mentioned, it's actually
Yes.
one of the biggest challenges that tech companies are facing today, is to keep up with the trends and make sure that we're guiding our students and our youth to make sure that they're still within the development of technology like AI. One of the main things that we're doing right now is connecting with industry experts to be able to train our interns, our students, and help them, like you said, with their own AI projects. Right now, Oman Vision 2040, as you guys are aware, is actually working towards this with different incubators for your startup ideas, in which all of the different universities have. But at the same time, there's also the investment authority when it comes to small, medium enterprises. So if you have a startup idea of your own, especially if you're Omani, please take advantage of that, because they will be able to help you grow what you have currently and scale that in a larger sense within your country. So please do take advantage of that. And if you're interested in doing so, you can connect with me after the session, and we can discuss that online. I think Suleiman has something to say.
Oh, sorry. Can I add something as a student in the college? Regarding the thing that you said, I don't know how many of the students knows about the upgrade program of Oman. Does anyone knows about the upgrade program? Anyone? Okay. So basically, mostly they are like in the colleges and universities, probably for sure, most of the like teachers or your supervisors before they told you about the upgrade plan, but maybe you didn't know the name. And this plan or program is launched by Ministry of Higher Education, Research and Innovation. And this is something that if you have any ideas, any innovative ideas that it can help for the Vision 2040, you can go to your like maybe like department. If you are in computer science, I'm saying it. If you are in the computer science, you can go to the department of the computer science, and then you can tell them about your ideas, and then after that they will be giving you like a paper that you have to fill it out. And the thing is, it will be as a group project from your college. And the thing is that what it will be happening, it must be 50% Omani, at least 50% Omani in that group. And the rest, they can be non-Omanis or also Omanis. And then after that, you will be starting your work, and you will be writing like a project and all the essay and everything that you are doing. And what it's happening is that the government will be giving you like it will be as a scholarship or as an investment, that they will be giving you a money to go and like take the things that you need for that idea and that project and work on it for a year, as I know. So then later on, this project will be by your name, but it will be written in Mon. So the thing is, but for Omanis is better than non-Omanis, because I face one problem. The thing is that I have ideas, for example. So while I'm going for this project, I cannot be as a first author. Only Omanis can be as a first author. And then that means that the project idea will be from them, not from as a non-Omani student. So I wanted to do it to be as my final year project, but the thing is, because I'm not Omani, so I cannot work on it as my final year project because it will be as by the name of the first author. That means one Omani person. So that's why I refuse to do it. But for Omanis, it's a really, really big opportunity to go for it and check for it. Actually, now for this semester, it's already done. It was finished. The date was finished by 12 of. It means like last Thursday. But you can go for the next semester or the next year. Thank you so much.
Yeah, in that sense, for those international students who are here, as your point said, Sajedeh, it's very difficult for us, in a sense, to kind of thrive in the same community where we're not that prioritized. So if you'd like to connect offline, we can explore more on how we can build your ideas from scratch to where you want it to be. I'd be more than happy to.
Thank you so much.
If I had to add one thing over here, it's actually the fact that one of the messages that I like to tell a lot of people is not to rely too much on, using this as a final year project, because I have a lot of students. Part-time, I work as a guest lecturer at Middle East College or at Muscat University. They usually invite me to go and give lectures to other students, either motivational or technical or something like that. But the important part is you should consider to not really think about relying on universities for your projects, at least not in the beginning. Usually it's very good to put your ideas into practice on your own or with your friends. And I'll give you an example for that. One of the softwares we have right now is a software called Taxi Muscat. You can look at it in Google Play Store or in App Store. You can also download it and check it out. The software right now is still 50-50 because we're not really focusing on that part. We're really focusing on the AI part, and it's a startup. It's only started, less than 1 year ago, but we already have more than 1,000 taxi drivers who have registered on the platform, Omani taxi drivers. And we have almost, I think, more than 30,000 passengers who have downloaded it in 1 year. Now, this program was developed, the main contributions and everything was not from me. I just helped with the data part. It was actually from expatriates, Indians, Malaysians, Filipinos, people who have been in Oman their entire life. And they're still working on it. And the ministry is also paying attention to it. But that's only one of the examples I can give. You have so many opportunities, and that's why I mentioned it in the beginning. The only thing is you have to worry about two things. One is the people you meet, because if you're planning on starting an idea, that idea will need other people, not just developers. The developers are just there to put the idea into practice. You're going to need business people and accounting people and social media people and all sorts of people. So having your own group of friends or people that you can rely on is fine. But if you're only going to use it as a final year project, you're going to be restricted by the deadlines that they give you, the timing that they give you. Final year projects are only 1 year maximum. For Taxi Muscat, we spent 3 years just to make it possible. So my point in all this is when it comes, everything Ms. Sajedeh said was actually really true. Universities aren't going to be that cooperative. One, if you're Omani. Two, you're also, the opportunities that they're giving you are there and you can take it, but that doesn't mean they're the only opportunities out there. One opportunity I can share with you guys, because I'm usually interested in developing myself, is a website. That's the website, roadmap.sh. You can check it out. For anyone who's maybe never tried AI before, maybe they are interested in learning programming or they are interested in learning another programming language and increasing their skills. That website can show you different, a roadmap. A roadmap is basically, okay, if you want to learn something, there's a road. You need to start from the beginner level things and master that, become good at it, take some courses, read some books, read some articles. And then after you finish practicing, you go to the next level. And then you go to the next level. You level up on your own because that's what you're learning. Most of the courses that they're showing you there are on websites like Coursera and, Codecademy and a few other places. Some of them are paid, but every step has a free course that you can take even if you're not willing to pay. And we've created that website mostly by asking different experts, people who have already been in data analysis or AI or machine learning or cybersecurity, networking. We've asked them, since you've been working for a long time, if you had to, give us some advice on what topics students should use from the beginning all the way to the expert level, what should they learn? And that's the results that we came up with. So one problem with education sectors here is the students are relying too much on waiting for the university to teach. But just like what Eariele said during her workshop, there's a skill gap between what the universities are supposed to teach you and what people actually want to learn or want to achieve over here. If in order to, fill this gap, you have to put your own personal effort as well. Otherwise, there's going to be little, it's not going to be as effective. You're just going to be waiting on everyone else. And if you do fail, you're going to blame everyone else. There's no point in that. That's what I wanted to add.
Okay, thank you. And let's continue with Ms. Eariele. You monitor youth and run technology workshops. What basic skills should student or early professionals focus on to prepare for an AI-driven future?
That's a really good question, actually. If we're talking purely about technical skills, or let's say non-technical skills, if we start with technical skills, you want to start with the basics. One of the most easiest ways to do that is, like Sulaiman said, is by making your own efforts into it. When I was a student, I never just relied on what I was learning in university. I always sought to learn more and get more information, because in tech, you never ever stop learning since it's developing every day. So taking up certifications that will help you understand the basics of AI and machine learning. Taking up different workshops that are being offered, like today's workshop panel discussions. Engage with other people, connect with others who are already in the industry, to know what's already out there and what needs to be improved more. So that will help you first prepare yourself technical skills wise when you want to step into the world of AI. Another thing is start projects. However small it is, start your projects, because that's what's actually going to develop your skills as a software developer, especially in the AI industry. If you want to go into data analytics, you want to go into business development with AI, starting with projects and doing that every day and showing up consistently, that's what makes a change. And that's how you'll get noticed in the industry. If you're talking about soft skills, first thing that you'd want to actually focus on is being a team player. Knowing that you're going to be working with tons of different people from different backgrounds, different attitudes, different walks in life. You need to be able to adapt regardless of where they're at. You need to be able to work with them and collaborate with them. Always know that there's always something to learn from someone else. even if that someone is younger than you, older than you. There's always something that you don't know that they can share with you. So approach it in that sense. And another thing is be consistent. Those who are succeeding now in tech, they aren't only the geniuses of the world. Those are people. There are people there who are keeping it alive, and those are the people who show up every single day, putting in the work, putting in the effort to learn more, putting in the hours to develop their skills, to research, to talk to others about what they want to learn and how they want to do it. So connect with industry mentors, connect with people who you don't even know. In a sense, you can go to LinkedIn, message someone, hey, I was really interested in your work profile. Can we connect? If that's something that you're open to. And most of the time, these industry professionals, they are eager to share whatever experiences they have with you. And if you act on that as students and share your feedback with them, that's what's going to keep you going in the industry. And that's already in general, not just within AI. So I hope that answers the question, Sarah.
We appreciate your advices. To Ms. Bayan, how can educational content like media, workshops, or even language tour help students understand AI better and not feel scared of it?
Okay, so as a content creator, you can position AI as a learning buddy, not a shortcut. For example, you can say, AI won't do your homework for you, but it can explain what you don't get. This will encourage students to ask AI questions like they would ask a tutor. And another example is to create a study-focused tutorials. For example, how to use ChatGPT to study for exams, or how I used AI to understand Shakespeare. These are some ways to make it less intimidating for students and to use it more often.
AI isn't just for big technology. Let's talk about startups and young developers. What's happening in Oman's innovation space, and how can we push it forward? Mr. Suleiman, are there any AI startups in Oman, and what are the biggest challenges they're facing?
Well, at the moment, we do have a lot of companies that relate with AI or use AI, but that's not their main focus. And to be honest, even AI itself was never supposed to be a product by itself. Are you going to create an AI to give to someone? The real thing is what you can do with AI. That's what people are using it for. Dr. Hassan gave a very good example. People are using AI for automations, hyper automations, where you have a lot of things that you're supposed to do in the company in order to make it work. Different people from different places in different industries are using AI, but they're in different industries. My company is a software company, but at the same time, we're selling this software. We're helping people understand how to use these softwares to make it easier for them. But we have a lot of customers. In Oman alone, we have more than 5,000 people that we're dealing with. But our office has less than 30 people. How do we manage that? We're managing it using AI. All the customers that are coming to us, we're using the AI that we've developed, or we're using from other companies, their AI. And all we're doing is just using that to make our work easier so that our people that only have 20 or less people inside the office are able to manage all the 5,000 people and all of them being as satisfied as possible. So AI by itself in Oman, there are software developer companies out there, but they're not particularly well known. People are using AIs mostly with the applications, data analysis. Rehal is the best example for that. They're using AI and they're developing AI to make things easier for the industry or for other businesses. Other things are automation. Automation is very important because you don't have to do any manual work. You don't have to write so many things in Excel, before you create your own website or template or anything like that. You just use AI to do that for you. AI can be used on a much bigger scale in Oman, but at the moment, we've only just begun to use it. I think that's the best answer I can give out.
Miss Khalsa Saeed, I think Miss Khalsa Saeed, you have led several tech initiatives. What can we do to inspire students or young developers to innovate with AI and not just use it?
Okay, as a lead of IT Club and some other communities, I would answer that people can inspire from hackathon, workshops, panel discussions similar to this. But the most important things is people, even students or developers, should know that AI is not something they just can use. I mean, like ChatGPT, they can go more than that. They can create something with AI. So from hackathons, hand-on workshops, projects, they can, let us say, think out of the box and how they can use AI or use some tools, AI tools, in a new way. So yeah, this is my answer. Does anyone have another answer? Speakers?
I guess I can add a little bit to that in a sense, where it's important for students to actually discover and use AI nowadays, like you said, and inspire them to gravitate towards it. But I think it's also important, like Dr. Hassan mentioned earlier during his session, is how you can use AI responsibly, ethically, because what we're doing right now, when it comes to being able to use AI every day, the resources that's using up for the rest of the world, it's using huge data centers that are being cooled down by large amounts of water, or be able to use a lot of different power sources. So just even one prompt of ChatGPT, one question would be using one big glass of water already. So imagine the millions of concurrent users that are already using this one singular platform when all of these other AI avenues exist. So making yourself aware of the ethical issues when it comes to AI and the use of AI, especially, and its sustainability in the future. I think that's also an important thing to actually talk about and actually explore as students. So ethical sourcing, awareness of where your AI is coming from and how that's affecting your environment, and how we can improve our technology so that we're not using as much resources and everything that will help other people, but also, not take away from other people's livelihoods, let's say. So I think that's something that everyone should be aware of at the very, very minimum when it comes to AI.
Ms. Eariele, as a founder working across technology, education, and innovation, How can we better bridge the gap between startups and skilled talent? What advice would you give to youth with ideas but little access to resource?
That's a good question, actually, and that's one of the main reasons why I started this company, Code Buddy. What we do is to make sure to bridge that gap, that skill gap that we're experiencing as students when we go into the industry. So if you want to start actually making a change in your career's trajectory, in your career path, first start with reaching out to your local companies, going into to different networking sessions and talking to these industry professionals. That will give you a different perspective on where we are right now with tech. So that helps you catch up whatever you're not learning from the universities. Another thing that you can do is attend sessions like this, workshops that are being conducted by different companies. That's actually one of the main things that we do, aside from developing solutions for our clients. One thing I'm really passionate about is educating youth on different skill sets that they have. So if you, for example, want to become a front-end developer in the industry, these are the training programs that you need to take to make you career ready. These are the different courses, the different certifications that you need to land an interview or land the job directly. So by connecting and enriching your skills within the industry, that's where you can kickstart your career. Because relying only on what the university is giving you or what you're seeing on social media, let's say, will stunt your career in tech. Tech is growing every single day, and you need to grow with it so that you can have a future in tech itself. So if you're interested in developing your own startups and your own ideas, I'd be happy to connect with you guys offline and guide you through that process as well. But please continue to learn every day and enrich your skills. Till this day, I'm still taking certifications myself to improve the skills that I already have. So I think that's something you can take away is never stop learning.
To warm up, let's look ahead. What does the future hold? AI is moving fast. What will Oman look like if we get this right? Ms. Sajedeh, as a student deeply engaged in AI studies and research, what do you hope to see change in Oman's technology landscape in the next few years? And how can young people take part in shaping that future?
For the first question that you asked, let's say that I hope that AI will be in public services. While we are talking about public services, I don't mean some specific places like banks or anywhere else, because as we know now, AI is growing and it can help the works to be easier and faster. So I hope to be also in the smart healthcare or for better traffic systems or also for environmental monitoring. This is one of the things that I can say, and as well that I hope to see that people are focusing on ethical AI. So actually, I want us to lead ethically and transparent systems, data privacy, and fairness, especially in sensitive fields like healthcare. It must be a priority because it is so important. And I guess they have to, everyone has to keep it in mind. And they have to work the way that is ethical. Otherwise, we will be, instead of going and improving in AI, we will be going the way that it will be like hurting people and harming more than like having benefits for the people. And it can be also in the ecosystem, AI ecosystem, it can be stronger. I hope to see that as well. For the second question that you asked, I guess it was, how can young people take a part to help like for AI? As Mr. Suleiman said, they have to learn beyond the classrooms. Like, you don't need to just learn from the classes, or if you are going to the college and university, that's all, and you will be learning everything. As I know, and as we all know actually, while you are going, especially in my college, that it will be a big gap between each semester to another. So if you will not be like learning by yourself, you will be totally forgetting everything, especially because I'm in AI, so I will be forgetting most of the codes. So I have to learn by myself. You can use like Coursera and Fast AI and also Kaggle. And Kaggle is like for the informations that you can take. Also, I can say that students, they can join AI clubs and also competitions and hackathon that will be helping them to have experience and also see the other companies that they will be there, and it can help them like to know what the people are going and how they are improving, and for improving themselves what they are doing and in which areas they are focusing. Also, they can be as a volunteer and a collaborations. That is like, we have a lot of activities in colleges and universities if you are going for it and looking for it. So you can go and like work on the college projects. And the last thing that I can say, and it's so important, that also Miss Eariele talked about it, is about to don't wait for the permission. If you are waiting for permission, you will not be taking it at all. No way. You will not be taking any internship. You will not be finding any job. You are not finding any opportunity. And you have to build it yourself and start with the simple tools. Like, you can start with the chatbots. You can start with the data analysis. You can start with the dashboards. And you have to like start learning it, especially that AI is something that it will be in the future necessary. Even now, it's so necessary. And if you see, most of the companies, most of the businesses, they are using AI. And by some years, most of the works and the jobs that we have it now, they will be gone because it will be replacing with AI. So if you don't want to be out of this, like, let's say, cycle, and be out of the job and everything, you have to learn how to use AI in your job, in your company, and how you can work faster, how you can like save more time to do the things that they have more priorities. Thank you.
We have reached the end of our conversation. Thank you to all our speakers for the great ideas and discussions. It's clear that AI and technology are not just trends, but powerful tools to building Oman's future. Let's keep learning, building, and working together for a smarter future. Thank you all, and thank you who attends our panel.
Thank you so much for everyone attending, and thank you for Suleiman, Eariele, Bayan, Sajedeh. Thank you so much. Thank you so much also, Sarah.